What if the most hopeful verse in all of Genesis chapter 4 is hidden in the very last two verses? And what if it contains a truth about God that most people completely overlook? And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. For God said, she hath appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. Genesis 4:25. After everything that had happened, after the fall, after the first murder, after Cain's curse and wandering, Eve looked at her newborn son and said something extraordinary. God has appointed me another seed instead of Abel, the Hebrew word for appointed. Here is shath, which means to place, to set, to establish with intention and purpose. Eve was not just grateful for another child. She was recognizing that God had specifically and intentionally provided this son as a continuation of the line that Cain had tried to destroy. And the name Seth itself means appointed or placed, a permanent reminder embedded in his very name that he was not an accident, not a consolation prize, not just another child to fill the gap Abel had left, but a divinely appointed continuation of God's plan for humanity. And then verse 26 contains one of the most significant statements in all of early Genesis. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord, after Cain's line, built cities and developed civilization and created music and weapons, after generations of human achievement that made no mention of God. Seth's line brought something back that had been lost since the garden, people calling on the name of the Lord. Here is what this truth reveals about how God works in human history. When one door closes through sin and failure, God does not abandon his plan. He opens another. When one line fails, he raises up another. When what seemed like the end turns out to be just a detour, he appoints a Seth. He places a new beginning exactly where the old one was destroyed. Subscribe to Proverbs and Purpose and leave a comment below. Has God ever given you a Seth moment? A new beginning after something devastating was taken from you?